Now let's take a look at some of the other latest developments in the US-Israel war against Iran. An airstrike in the Hezbollah stronghold of South Beirut after Israel issued a warning to residents. Lebanon's health ministry said 3 people were killed in a pair of Israeli strikes on vehicles along Beirut's airport highway. Prior to these strikes, officials said 72 people had been killed and more than 83,000 others displaced since the start of a new round of fighting between Israel and Hezbollah. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office says that Israel and the United States have made historic gains in their war against Iran. A spokesperson from Netanyahu's administration also said that the attack was needed as Iran was using new underground bunkers to rebuild its atomic bomb program. Iran launched a fresh round of missiles at Israel, triggering alerts in several areas, including Tel Aviv. According to the Israeli military and Tehran state media, there were no immediate reports of casualties. Qatar's PM Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani lambasts Iran foreign minister during a call accusing Tehran of trying to drag their neighbors into the war. Turkey, meanwhile, summoned the Iranian ambassador after a missile apparently targeting a Cyprus base landed in Turkish territory. Turkish officials said a ballistic missile launched from Iran and heading towards Turkish airspace via Iraq and Syria was destroyed by NATO air defense systems. The defense ministry did not specify the missile's intended target. Iran has been hitting sites across the region in retaliation after the United States and Israel launched strikes against it on Saturday. The Omani Navy rescued 24 crew members of a container ship struck by missiles in the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian forces claimed complete control of the strait a day after Trump said the US Navy was ready to escort tankers through the channel. Spain doubles down on its opposition to Washington's use of its bases against Iran after Trump's threats of trade reprisals. The White House said Madrid had now agreed to cooperate. But Spanish Foreign Minister Jose Manuel Alvarez said that its stance on bases on the war in the West Asia on bombardment of Iran has not changed at all. For more on this, we were earlier joined by Bishop Garrison, who is former senior advisor to the Secretary of Defense and current senior fellow and adjunct professor at the National Security Institute at George Mason University Law School. Listen in to what he had to say.
Honestly, I would have been more surprised if they had said categorically that they would not or could not be involved in any way, shape, or form in this conflict, where this puts a lot of allies in difficult situations and they're going to have to make some difficult decisions. But I think it would be detrimental to long-standing relationships if they were to say absolutely that under no circumstance they would step in. This just gives them some level of leeway of movement for future decision making should they decide that it's necessary for them to be a part of any type of operation. Well, I mean, it's just too early to tell, and it also depends on what type of involvement we're ultimately talking about. There's already a need for some assistance in terms of just movement of civilians off of out of the theater of operations for the United States. So there are ways that allies can absolutely support what is some of the activities that are going on that deal more on the humanitarian side than any parts of the kinetic conflict. So again, these statements are just ultimately giving a lot of these allies some leeway to support the missions in a way that really resonates with their own citizens, because quite frankly, this isn't the most popular decision-making processes right now when it comes to this conflict.